This is a Headgum original.
What is this, a new If I Were You podcast? Well, kind of. These are episodes that were living behind our Patreon for the last 5 years, and we figured, why not release some of the best ones onto this feed to reward those of you that never gave up, that never unsubscribed. So please enjoy this classic episode of If I Were You, recorded at our old studio in 2018. Hell yeah.
All right.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
You look kind of drunk, a little bit. Just a little bit drunk, yeah.
Well, I'm not that drunk.
Because I saw you on to the right of the couch, which I could still see. You took a little
I have a nip.
swig from a flask.
I have a flask and I have a handle over there.
It's
$2.40. I was vaping downstairs. I have like a weed pen.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. If I'm feeling like if you can tell that I'm like a little out of it, maybe I just need to like
don't do another drug. Yeah, if that's
no,
true.
I would just like fucking scull a rail of cocaine just like to even me out.
You're fine.
If I just need to like
you're fine then.
Bumps, then.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't have to do any
right. Well, I just
scull a rail.
It's kind of like this delicate balance of like I get too drunk and I'm like a little crazy, and then I smoke a little weed to mellow me out, but then I get too mellow.
Every day is that roller coaster?
It's not every single day because I wake up and I'm not like fucked up because I like slept it off. But then
do you ever wake up with a headache?
Yeah, but like it's easy to get rid of a headache. You just fucking
caffeine,
smash a rail,
orange juice.
You just bang out a rail.
Have some water.
Snort a line. You snort a line of cocaine.
Do you ever use a humidifier? Like it sort of doesn't like, dry you out, so that keeps you hydrated and healthy.
I wake up like overhydrated. I'm like usually drenched in sweat, so I need the powder to dry my shit.
You drenched in sweat means you're dehydrated because your body is expelling.
I'm soaking wet.
Yeah,
I wake up and I'm wet.
Yeah, so that's dehydration.
If I wake up and I'm super wet, I'll try to do some blow.
No,
and then if I do too much blow, then
it sounds like you want to do the cocaine regardless of how you feel.
I'll shroom out for a little bit.
Shroom out now.
Yeah.
So cocaine,
I'm taking
mushrooms,
acid, Special K,
pills, and alcohol daily.
I didn't say anything about alcohol.
You don't drink?
I have a little whiskey.
Yeah, you said you had a whiskey in the handle.
I'm sorry, I'm feeling out of it. I feel like I need to do a bunch of blow because then I'll be a little more focused.
Do blow. Please don't do blow.
All right. Well, I just feel like maybe I overdid it on the weed.
It's a bonus video Thursday episode of our show.
Yeah.
If I Were You.
That's why I try to stay a little sober for these.
A little sober.
We're on video. Usually when we do the pod.
Yeah.
I wake and bake.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, and that's like, we sometimes do it bi-coastal, so I can't like keep tabs on you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I prefer.
What's in that?
Juice.
What's that?
Zaddy's juice.
What's that entail, the Zaddy's juice?
Zaddy's juice is just jungle juice that I lace with cocaine. When you drink cocaine, does it also do what it does?
I would think not, otherwise people would just drink it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Putting it in your nose seems uncomfortable. Like if you could just...
Is it just you put it in your... If you snorted alcohol, it would be like faster way to get drunk, right?
I'll take a fucking line of vodka.
If that's just like... Would it be as popular if you had to snort it?
Can you butt chug heroin? I'm serious. Can you put heroin in water and butt chug it?
It's a good question.
Who says no to that? Thank you guys so much for watching. These are, as usual, real questions from real people. Only difference is every other Thursday you get to watch us.
Mm-hmm.
And it is completely free of advertisements, marketing. Get out of here. We're not here to sell out. This is direct to consumer.
Right, that's
They're paying us $5 a month for content.
Correct.
We're delivering it straight.
Delivering it. Yep,
we're not
ad-free.
trying to monetize every nook and fucking cranny.
Well, yeah, right. Okay. Did you sell an ad?
I sold another ad type deal. I don't even want to call it branded content because that has such a negative connotation. Do you remember?
Why do you even mix it? You ham up so much that we don't sell ads, and then you're like, I have one little ad.
Do you remember, like, months ago, I sold one and they wanted you to read it?
Yeah.
So that one went awesome. That one was good for business. They sent me another one. Do you mind? I forwarded it to you. If you could just read it cold.
I do mind. I don't, because I don't want to sell out.
Because I sort of.
Are you like, you didn't even give me any money from that first one, by the way. So
and I'll pay you as soon as they.
The annoying thing is, like, it's not just you monetizing this.
W-9. Yeah, you have to give me a W-9. I can't just give you the cash.
Did you send them a W-9?
Yes.
You're not just throwing up roadblocks for me to not get paid?
I'm just figuring out.
I'll give you a W-9. I will give you a W-9.
Okay.
Am I going to get paid for this one?
Let's see how the client likes it. All right. And see if you can stare into the camera, too, because this has to be like...
Well, I won't be able to stare into the camera and read it, because you just sent it to me.
Do your best.
Imagine a raisin the size of a fig.
That's cool.
Now a little smaller. A little smaller. So we're getting to a raisin.
Well, I don't fucking know.
What you're holding is a new grape from the makers of plastic.
That's awesome.
It's this... Try not to editorialize, okay? It's the size of a grain of sand, but wrinkly. How? The answer is pseudoscience.
Interesting.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up, actually. It gets better. For every micro raisin we sell...
I love this.
2 more are donated worldwide to, I don't know, Canadians for all I care. Are you sure you didn't write this?
It sounds familiar now that you're reading it, but I don't think I just forwarded it
So what
along.
can we do to help? Well, as of now, this product is just a fever dream in the mind of a man in a coma in Vermont. Venmo Amir, or maybe even I'll set up a dummy account. I feel like you sent me the draft instead of the final.
Just keep reading it. We'll cut around it.
And we can get to work. Because, hey, when we're working together, there's no reason I shouldn't get rich off this shit. LOL, coupon code CASH. I really think this is so...
I'm down to donate some to the cause. What was the Venmo name again?
You said Amir.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
All right.
So you want people to Venmo you for, I guess, a very, very tiny raisin.
No, to revive this guy.
Okay. So now it's like a GoFundMe for a guy's coma for his medical bills. To Venmo you directly, it seems like a circuitous route. Like if they could just give more directly to like the hospital.
I want to present them with one big envelope with one big check.
All right, cool. So this has nothing to do with the raisins.
The raisins? What the fuck are you talking about?
You said imagine a raisin the size of a fig. Now
that
smaller.
Was just to get people talking. I think.
So don't have notes for me if you don't even know what you're looking for.
You did great, and I'll pay you as soon as I get paid. Oh, I already got a Venmo.
Really? How's that possible?
Because I blasted my family, so I got one for my cousin.
What did you?
If you're watching, thank you so much. He gave $1,200.
That's insane. For what? For this guy's coma?
Well, I said that I was sick. All right.
This is a separate scheme then. You have lots of different schemes to get people to Venmo you.
You have like different avenues.
$1,200. What did you do? You Venmo requested your entire family, or you wrote an email?
Both, yeah. Independence is about having different revenue streams, so that one dries up, you're just more like yours.
You're a tech savvy homeless person. You're a tech savvy bum, is what you are.
Yes.
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 It's instead of a sign, you were just Venmo requesting people.
Yeah. I'm getting Venmo. You said it correctly. I'm getting Venmo.
Okay, well, don't agree with me like we're having a casual conversation about. I'm accusing you of a crime. I think. Don't dance. This isn't a good thing. This is a sad day for you. You're happy because you got $1,200. That's not a dab.
If you're happy and you got $1,200, clap your hands. And if you're gonna get more cash, fap your hands.
No, don't. Oh God, I hate that.
All right, let's answer some questions. This guy is kind of in a sticky situation after getting down with the total dime piece last night.
Ooh.
So we'll call him FDR.
Why?
Because he's on the dime. I'm getting down with a total dime piece last night, and the gag is I still live with my parents while I'm at college. So I did all the traditional cover-ups. Turned the TV on to mask the sound. Tried to be as quiet as possible. I thought I was in the clear because in the morning my mom was none the wiser and carried on as though everything was normal. However, on the way to school I received a text from my dad, and it said, "No more girls while we're home. Too uncomfortable and disrespectful.
Ooh, ouch.
So he 100% heard me. I'm embarrassed beyond belief, and I want to hear. What would you guys do? Should I pretend that he's imagining things? Should I just ignore it, and we never have to talk about this again? Has this ever happened to one of you guys? Thanks for your advice. Love, FDR.
Cool. This happened to me all the time.
You brought ladies home during college?
I think it was after, yeah, maybe during college and then after college.
And you would just hang out with them in your room all night.
Yeah.
Thin walls, old house, people heard.
Right.
TV on to drown audio, or that's also noticeable?
It wasn't like it wasn't loud, but like, I guess,
Were you trying to be a little quiet?
Yes.
But you were caught.
We're trying to be a little quiet, like actual like noise yelling wise.
Yeah, I feel like that only works to an extent. Like, we have to be quiet, and then at a certain point you just sort of lose yourself to this act, and you're like, oh shit, I think I screamed. Like, you almost brown out.
I think what ends up happening, like, if other rooms are completely quiet,
Yeah.
even if you're not making that much noise,
It's hearable.
if you're utterly silent in your house and you just hear people sort of like having a muffled conversation, you can hear that.
Right.
Everything's hearable inside a house. So like, there's not necessarily me like going, oh my God, but it's sort of just like this like quiet. Yeah.
Oh!
I'm sorry. That kind of thing.
Yeah. So, whether or not they heard, were you ever called out on it?
Yes. Yeah. Like the next day, my mom would be like, that was too loud.
She'll say that to you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, sorry.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't do anything.
Well, it made me feel a little bad. It was a little uncomfortable, obviously. It was like, gross, stop talking to me about this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She's right here still.
Oh,
We're all
yeah.
eating cereal together. You know Jill, she's married to me now, Mom. Don't tell me that was uncomfortable in front of her.
Well, I mean, now I feel like I wouldn't get caught. It'd be fine.
That's cool.
They'd be encouraged. They think I was giving them grandchildren.
That's good, because it should lead to another generation.
That's right.
How'd it go? Do you need anything? Etc.
Yeah,
Et cetera, and et cetera.
They're at this point, they're trying to facilitate it. Jill, another glass of wine? Why don't you guys retire early?
It's 4:15, Mom.
Please.
It's
It's like mood music.
This has happened to you.
Has it happened to you?
No, I would never bring somebody home to my parents'
You've never
house.
even brought someone home while your parents were home?
I mean, girlfriends slept over, but I don't think we would
You didn't
have
even
sex.
You never even had sex in your parents' house while they were there.
I can't remember that I did, because it was never like I was there for a month with my girlfriend. It would be like, oh, she slept over for a night. Let's not have sex because we're next to my parents' room.
Right.
You know, logical things.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's fair. Is this guy certain that the dad heard him, or is it just like they knew a girl was there and he said don't?
He
It
said,
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he said, no more girls while we're home. Way too uncomfortable and disrespectful. So I assume they heard.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty forceful text. I think you just got to say, I mean, you can't do anything except say, I'm sorry.
Should I pretend he's imagining things?
Yeah. I mean, if you're
What are you
uncomfortable.
talking about, Dad? There was no girl here.
The thing is, if you're uncomfortable, all you can do is be like, I'm sorry. Let's not talk about it. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And then it's
Yeah.
over. But like, if you're uncomfortable and you're like, it didn't happen, and then your dad is like, no, I heard like the headboard banging against the wall, and you're like, that was something else. He's like,
Actually, lock the door. Me and your mother will reenact what it sounded like.
yeah, there's no like that just makes it more uncomfortable. There's not anything that like saves. Your dad isn't gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess I didn't hear you fucking anyone.
So would you even respond to the text? Thumbs up reaction?
Yeah, I would respond and be as respectful as possible. I am really sorry. That was not cool. It won't happen again.
It was rude of me.
Yeah.
But then you have to knock it off.
And then you do have to knock it off. I mean,
You didn't knock it off. You just apologized and moved on.
well, my parents were way more chill. I never got that kind of. If I'd gotten that kind of text from my dad, if he was like, this was really disrespectful, I think I would have done way more to hide it.
I still would have done it.
I would have done it.
More to
But
hide
it was
it.
definitely more like it was. My parents like teased me about it. It wasn't like.
It wasn't like, how dare you?
Yeah, it wasn't. They aren't just like they just aren't that like sober of a people.
How close were your rooms?
I was this was like when I was in the attic, and their room is on the second floor.
So there was some distance.
Their room is right below mine. It's
So they heard everything.
It's directly below. I don't know
The
if
worst
they heard
location
everything.
the room could be was directly below.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they heard. I don't know anything. They didn't tell me.
Let's
exactly
have them
what
on. Mom,
they- No,
Dad,
no,
reenact,
no.
please.
They would be embarrassed. They wouldn't tell you what they heard.
So yeah, you have to reply. Don't ignore it.
Mhm.
You have to say, quick apology.
Quick apology.
Take a beat.
Yep.
Maybe one day you can find your own apartment.
Yeah, and in the meantime, just like don't have this stuff in your room. If there's an area of the house that's really far away, I feel like you could get away with it again.
A basement. A shed of sorts. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode of our show. One of our day ones, we've been ranting and raving about Squarespace for almost a decade now. And they're still bringing the heat. It's still the greatest, easiest, best way to build an online store, a portfolio, a blog, whatever you're designing. Squarespace makes it easy. And you don't no longer have to learn how to code or anything like that. It's easy, simple, intuitive drag and drop technology. So simple, even I figured it out. So if you go to squarespace.com/ifiwereyou, you can get a free trial right away. And then when you're ready to launch, they'll even take off 10% off their low prices. You can even purchase a domain name through Squarespace. I know you're thinking not a lot of available .coms. It's been 30 years since people can start buying these things. But there are a few that slip through the crack. For example, damntheflan.com. It's like damn the man, but instead of damning the man, you're damning the flan. So if you want to buy damntheflan.com or maybe yourname.com or somebody else's name.com, you could do it all through Squarespace. And you could do it with a free trial. And then when you're ready to launch, just go to squarespace.com/ifiwereyou for 10% off that purchase of a website or a domain. So squarespace.com/ifiwereyou, free trial, and then 10% off when you're ready to launch. Just remember that coupon code, if I were you. Build something beautiful today with Squarespace. Thank you to See the Thing Is for sponsoring this episode of our show. That's right, a podcast hosted by Grammy Award-winning R&B artist Bridget Kelly and media personality Mandy B. Every week, Bridget and Mandy offer grown, honest, and yes, slightly toxic perspectives on all things music, pop culture, and of course, dating and relationships. So, if you have a hard time finding new music, or perhaps you're just a millennial who misses what life was like in the 2000s, or maybe you're interested in multiple perspectives on relationships and dating, See the Thing Is a podcast that allows space for a wide range of thoughts and emotions. So, if you're in the market for a new podcast, we recommend See the Thing Is, hosted by those two funny Bridget and Mandy, and they have awesome guests like Big Frida, Ari Lennox, Van Lathan, Chloe Bailey, and more. So check them out. See the Thing Is. All right, next question.
Yep.
This one's a party animal.
Ooh.
So who's the biggest party animal in your life?
Jeff Rosenberg.
Jeff Rosenberg writes, longtime listener, second-time writer. I'm in a
Okay.
real predicament of my own doing. Almost 4 years ago, I threw a party, and some kid was giving me problems in my own house. So like the macho man I am, I warned him multiple times to not keep messing with me. He then proceeded to knock over some game of beer pong I set up, and I lost it on this punk. I grabbed a samurai sword that sits on my mantle, and I gave him a small nick on the knee. It got blown out of proportion at school, and people called me Samurai for a while. Long story short, we made up and everything was fine. 4 years later to the current date, he's been selling drugs, and I guess turned into like a drug dealer that hangs out with real thugs now. He messaged me the other day saying he wants $200 or he's coming to take the money I owe him for what I did when we were 16. Like, what the actual fuck did I do? Is it stupid to want to fight him? Should I just give him $200 because I was a dick 4 years ago? I really don't want to hand over $200, but I don't know if I can scrap with real thugs. Thanks, guys. He sent a picture, too.
What a strange predicament.
So this guy wants $200.
It's a really small detail, but I like that this guy thinks it was blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
like
this photo is pretty bad. That's like a pretty deep cut.
Like it was all blown out of. You attacked someone with a sword.
Yeah. Also, like it's more than just a slice. That's like a slice with a little opening.
Yeah.
And there's blood on the knee. And there's gauze on the blood.
Right. So
And there's blood on the ground.
yeah. So I think that your nickname of the samurai is earned.
Yeah.
What you should do is obviously tell this guy that you're going to meet him with the thugs and the $200, and then go like superhero. You show up, you have your samurai sword.
No.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh, you wanted some of this?
sing. You remember me?
Whoa.
The story is not yet finished. Sing.
Yeah, you owe me $200. Yeah, scraped my knee.
Do you accept Venmo? Sing.
Yeah, sure. Venmo, cash, as long as it's like a private transaction.
Incoming Venmo from Sing Sing the samurai.
That looks like a really heavy sword. Like you're having kind of a hard time holding it.
I have
Oh,
arthritis.
God. You cut
From the
yourself a
sword.
little.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
Yeah, does your wrist hurt?
It does. Amputate it.
Also, it's a very matte sword. You're making all the sound effects with your mouth.
Sing.
You know what? Keep the money. You're a loser now.
See how that worked?
That's cool. Would you give him $200 if this
No.
happened to you?
Of course not.
For slicing his leg open?
You can't come and request it 4 years later.
Yeah, but you also don't want to scrap with thugs.
I don't think that meeting them and giving them $200 gets you out scot-free. Like there's no way that the thugs meet up again and they're like, all right, who else should we rob? It went pretty well when we robbed Jeff.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, like they keep on going back till the well is dry. I would imagine what you have to do is just be like, that's not happening.
But then what if they beat you up?
I sort of, my theory is that they won't beat you up. They're more like a threatening group. They want to threaten people to get quick, easy money. If they get it, great. And if they don't, they move on to the next thing. They're just
cool.
looking for a target. They're looking for a mark.
Yeah.
They're villains, and that's why you have to stand up for the little man. That's what the superhero does. Zing, zing. Rain coming down, a hood just dripping right past your face, looking at the ground, eyes askew, but then ding, they come
Your
up.
wallet's on the ground, dude.
Shit.
Is there a finder's fee? I kind of just saved you from
Flash of
$400.
thunder and lightning. Where did he go? Where did he fucking go? And then, the fucking your buddy's head just like rolls off his body.
So you fucking decapitated someone?
He was a thug.
Oh my God.
They wanted $200 from the fucking samurai.
We owe you so much more than
time
that
you
now.
earn the nickname.
That's cool. The Samurai. Coming soon to, I don't know, Netflix, I guess.
What would you do if somebody wanted money from you?
I'd Venmo them instantly. $200. Leave me the fuck alone, though. Now, here's the
Fine.
cash. Get out of my face, jackass.
I'm a tough guy. I'll give you your money. Just get the fuck out of here.
Unless you want more, and then you scram.
Yeah.
Here's $300. Peace be with you.
Keep the change, but take your dumb ass away from my town and don't come back now, you hear? Unless you want a little more money. In which case, Venmo request me from afar. Don't do
Here's
it around me.
$1,000. Keep my parents' name out of your mouth.
And just in case you need it, I'll write down their bank info, their routing number, and their account number. And you can set up a wire transfer, recurring if you want. You little rascal.
But if I see you take one more dime, then let's say 40 grand, your ass is grass, and I'm going to call the cops.
Don't take it all at once, otherwise they'll notice and shut you out. Sing.
All right, last question.
Okay. Go ahead. Anytime. What? Yep. What do you got?
Yes.
Something?
Yes,
All right. Okay.
Yes.
It is
A guy who's concerned about his sister.
me.
You writes, I'm in a library and the library keeps everyone's reservations on the shelf arranged by surname with the card holder's names clearly visible. My sister's reservations were on the shelf over from mine, and I saw that she had on the shelf, waiting to be picked up, a book. That's right. The title was, quote, Living with a Narcissist. I know that she likes to read books about all sorts of things. So do I. But I was worried by this particular choice, as I know that she and her husband seem to have had some troubles recently. She's been spending a lot of time at work and less time at home, frequently going away on business trips. It's to the point where there's a lot of pressure on their relationship because he's putting his career above his family. When he comes to family gatherings, he looks at his phone a lot of the time, is short with people, and doesn't say much. A few days after noticing the book, I asked my sister if she's been reading anything interesting, but she said that she hadn't. So my question is, what do I do about this? I wouldn't really call it snooping to see a book in a library shelf because I was there too, but I don't know if it's my place to ask her about it. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
I got a lot of opinions on this, but you go ahead.
Depends on your relationship. Sing!
Go ahead.
How close are you with his sister? Like, is it like kind of distant where you feel bad saying, hey, I noticed you rented out a book called Living with a Narcissist. Anything you want to tell me? Mm-hmm. Or do you like do what you just did, which is like, hey, read anything interesting recently? Make yourself available in case they wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, right? Doesn't it seem almost like book aside, you don't have to get her to talk about the book she's like it almost seems like all the information that you need to ask her about her relationship is there.
Yeah.
Like the guy travels a lot. There's pressure on the relationship. He's mean at family outings. You don't need to be like, I saw you had a book about narcissism. Is that related?
Just that was like, about you. There's one called The Snooping Brother.
Yeah.
How to Keep a Weasel Out of Your Family Forever.
Like you don't have to find the mystery behind the book. If you're worried about your sister's relationship and you want to have a check-in with her, I feel like that's fine.
But how much do you press? If she's like, it's fine, whatever. Are you like, no, it's not fine?
I wouldn't press it. I would ask an honest, open question and let whoever I'm asking know that they don't have to tell me about it, but if they want to, I'm there and I'm curious and I care. And if your sister feels like sharing with you, then she will. And if she doesn't, then she won't. And if maybe your concerns are all for naught, she'll let you know.
Is there anything to the idea that if it's an older sister or younger sister, your relationship will be different? Like, are you more protective of your younger sister than your older?
I used to be. Now I'm like, they're evening out a little bit more now that the triplets are in their 30s.
Now like, everyone's like sort of an adult.
Yeah. Micah's still a baby, but the triplets are 30. It sort of feels like when I check, I don't have to like protect them very much.
They're all the same age as you.
I probably didn't have to protect them for a long time, but I still felt that like it felt a little bit more like older brother relationship with them. Like we talk and I'm like much quicker to be like, I can help with this if you need it. Do you want my advice on this stuff?
Yeah.
And my older sister, I'm way more demure and I'm like, and I ask her about stuff, but when she has problems, I'm like, you'll figure that out.
Right.
I know you will.
You're the older sis.
You're the best. You taught me to like Billy Joel.
Who talked to you, younger sister? I'll give him a knuckle sandwich.
Oh, a job interview? You want me to kick his ass?
It's a female boss who's leading the interview.
That wasn't very woke of me to assume.
Please don't tell our older sister. She'll spank me.
She's the boss of us.
You did get spanked by your older sister a lot, right? I'm fucking joking, man. Funny. Oh my God. No. Do you remember was she ever, how old? She's 3 years older than you?
Yeah.
At a certain point, she was big enough to beat you up, like when she was 6 and you were 3.
Yeah.
Do you remember flipping the script? When were you stronger than her?
We got into some scraps.
Knock down, drag out.
We did.
Like I mean, when you were 7 and she was 10?
Oh, yeah. When she was like 12, maybe when I was, I feel like when I was 9 and she was 12, I really think that we got into some fights.
It's weird because beating up a 12-year-old girl sounds awful, but when you're a 9-year-old boy, it's just par for the course.
I was never the first to. Hannah was more violent with me.
Mom?
She would kick my ass. She would kick my ass.
Really?
Yeah.
What would she do? Push you?
Push me, slap me in the face, pull my hair.
For fun or because you were mean?
No, we would like get into fights over like who's holding the controller, whose turn it is, who gets to, whose TV show we're gonna watch, and like then she would sometimes hit me. And
Grab the
if-
remote and just hit you in
And-
the head with it.
Or like, if I was on her spot on the couch, she'd like pull me off or something. But
Classic.
Yeah, so we would get into like, didn't your brothers ever kick your ass?
Not really, actually. I don't know why.
They never
I was
beat you up?
definitely a turd.
They never like pushed you?
Maybe
threw you
because
down?
one was 8 years older than me. So, like, is a 16-year-old really going to beat up an 8-year-old?
I got into some scraps with Micah too. I'm 8 years older than him.
What'd you do to him?
He was like bothering me. I'd push him away, and then he started. He like would hit me back when he was like 8. When I was 16 and he was 8, he like headbutted me in the nose and gave me a nosebleed.
Yeah, I never did that. I never made my brother's nose bleed.
Interesting.
You were a bad sibling.
Right. That makes
You deserved that.
I was always attacked.
You were a crash test dummy of sorts.
Yeah.
Your family treated you as a scarecrow
I was
or a
the whipping
punching
boy.
bag.
Yeah.
And rightfully soy. Because you are a soy boy.
I was a soy boy.
All right, bring it up. And you don't have to dig so deep. You don't have to reference the book either.
Yeah, you don't have to pry.
That
If you
easy.
wanted to know about the book, you could have asked about the book, but the time has passed.
The time is no longer here.
Yeah.
And thus ends another episode of whether or not you should beat up your younger sister.
Bring it on.
If you have your own questions, your own theme song submissions, send them to iwereyoushow@gmail.com. Regular episodes of our podcast every Monday on the main feed.
Ooh.
Thank you for watching this
yeah.
bonus Thursday episode. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your time. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
If I were you, 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 I'll tell you what I would do if only I were you. Show.com.
That was a Headgum original.